last couple of European Championships, last couple of World Championships. Fell short of qualifying for the Paris Olympics, but an experienced campaigner. This is his first professional outing.
Los tomadores de Cuba, Roniel Iglesias.
36 years old now, Iglesias has been at this top level for what seems like forever. He won his first Cuban national senior title when he was just 16 back in 2005, so almost 20 years he has been at elite level. 2008, he won a bronze medal at the Olympics. The year after that, he won an IBA World Championship, an Olympic gold in 2012, another one in Tokyo for the 2020 Olympics, Pan Am's, American Championships, WSB, you name it. Like others on this card, he has done it.
Gurgen, Madoyan, 26 años, hizo su debut en el año 2012, balance de 28-24. En victorias y derrotas en la esquina negra de los tomadores de Cuba, Roniel Iglesias, de 36 años, 2 veces campeón olímpico, 2 veces campeón mundial. Su balance, 4 victorias sin derrotas. Los jueces que actuarán en esta pelea son juez número 1, Emerson Pastor de Guatemala, juez número 2, Luca Batilonga de Italia, juez número 3, José Romero de España. La referee de este combate será Verónica Sox de Hungría.
Ten years separates these two, and an awful lot of experience, but that would generally be the case whoever Iglesias fights. I outlined that CV during his ring walk, and to describe it as extensive would be a gross understatement. I've no idea how many contests he would actually have had, but when you consider that he won that first senior national title at in 2005, if you add in junior bouts, youth bouts, then nearly 20 years worth of boxing for Cuba, and they travel, they box a lot, then I'd say you're looking at 600-700 fights, maybe more. Iglesias in the black, Madoyan in the white. Right hand to the body there from Madoyan. Front foot there of Iglesias just slipped a little bit as he stepped into the jab. Snapping that jab out nice and sharp, Iglesias. Left-hand lead that time. Madoyan just making fun of Iglesias there a little bit. Iglesias just double jab to the head, tap to the head really, then went down to the stomach with the left hand, so distracted with the jab and then landed to the body, and Madoyan obviously wasn't too impressed by that. I'm never sure it's an amazing idea to pull the tiger's tail, but I've got all the time in the world for fighters who decide they want to. And again, Madoyan there just almost giving Iglesias a few little pointers. Well, that was the instant in that first round. He's boxed on a couple of Champions Nights, Roniel Iglesias. Lost to Marco Verde in Mexico in his last one. Verde, who got to the final at the recent Olympics at 71 kilos. He has had a win as well, though, Iglesias, against Dulat Bekbaov. 4 other pro fights, all wins. Cuba lifting that ban on pro boxing in 2022, this being the first pro card that they've hosted since then. Professional sport was banned on the island in the early 60s. That ban got partially lifted just over 10 years ago, back in 2013, and boxing took its time, I guess, in deciding that they needed to lift their own ban, but it's happened now. That right hand was taken on the forearm, on the elbow there by Iglesias, who gets through with the left there. I'm not quite sure what he's trying to achieve here, Madoyan, with the gesturing, but as I said previously, I'm never against it. But Iglesias is one of these characters whose demeanour very rarely changes. He's impossible to read. He doesn't betray any emotion whatsoever when he's in the ring. The crowd enjoyed that from Madoyan, but it won't affect Iglesias at all. Good right hand to the body there from Madoyan. He just steps in and lets a couple go. He's absolutely holding his own here, but it's Iglesias who's controlling things. Good right hand into the body there from him. Likes to get close and then just really dig the shots in. He's a sharp puncher. And again, Madoyan with the, not quite histrionics, but with the gestures. If that's what you need to do to fire yourself up and get the juices flowing, then fair enough, but there can be a bit of a tipping point with it where if you do it too much, you basically begin to distract yourself. And that's the range he likes at Iglesias. That mid-range where he's just got enough space and he just throws those short, real sharp digs. Right hand into the body there from Madoyan. When he throws, you can see the effort on his face. It's writ large. They're so different, these two, in terms of their demeanour. As I said, Iglesias is sphinx-like. He doesn't betray any emotion whatsoever, doesn't give any reaction to anything that happens, good or bad. Whereas Madoyan he's an emotional fighter, you can see it. Jab to the body there from Iglesias. Madoyan comes marauding forward. He's very good at controlling the fight with that front foot, Iglesias. He's on you, he's taking his space, making you feel like you're under pressure. He's quite sparing with what he throws. And as Madoyan looks to try and come forward there, just uses those feet to pull all the way back and stay out of range. He makes you work hard. That's good though from Madoyan. Nice couple of body shots. But he is generally being manoeuvred around the ring by Iglesias rather than the other way around. Wild staring eyes on Madoyan there as he just tried to land something. Madoyan putting maximum effort in there, and a couple got through towards the end as he pursued Iglesias. The referee just giving Madoyan a bit of a slap on the back there. He wasn't answering the call to break quite as quickly as she would have liked. Right hand from Madoyan was pretty much bang on the belt line. And then Iglesias at the end of the round there just nips those feet in, throws that quick combination. So halfway through this one, these first four fights all scheduled for 6, the next one's 8. Between Arlen Lopez and Luis Tejeda. And then top of the bill, 10 rounds between Julio La Cruz and Madoyan Sadrahimov. So into the fourth. Iglesias in the black. Madoyan in the white. Front feet just tangling there. Good jab from Iglesias. Just knocked Madoyan off balance as he was looking to try and throw himself. I don't think the Cuban crowd know quite what to make of Madoyan, to be honest, at times. But the antics do work for him because it's not like he's losing concentration. And it's not the kind of in-ring performance you would expect from him, really. When you see him outside the ring, all fighters are different inside the ring to outside the ring, of course, because inside the ring they're fighting. But Madoyan, at the weigh-in, he didn't have an awful lot to say. He looked maybe just slightly overawed by the whole thing. But it hasn't been once the bell's gone. Couple of hooks off the jab there from Iglesias. He's got so much WSB experience, Iglesias, to add into all that elite level 3-round experience. I wonder whether he can look to try and up the tempo in his final couple of rounds. He is getting towards the end of a long and illustrious career. I think that's fair to say at 36 years old, but he's superbly conditioned. A smile from Iglesias, which is not something you see very often. And as I said, in the fight between Arizlandi Alvarez and Jose Munoz, these kinds of antics, which I think is probably the best word to describe them, that Madoyan's indulging in, you just don't get this in elite amateur competition. It's not allowed. Well, the front feet just colliding again there. It's always going to happen when you have an orthodox against a southpaw. Good left hand there from Madoyan. Slightly slappy, but it landed. Big crowd in. I arrived about 2.5 hours before boxing started, and there was a long line outside. It's been a hot ticket, this, ever since it was announced, and you can see why, because there are some stone-cold legends of Cuban boxing on this card. 3 double Olympic gold medalists. Julio Cruz has won 5 IBA World Championships. Lazaro Alvarez 3. Lopez and Iglesias have won that title as well. It is not every day that you see those kinds of fighters all on the same card. Roberto Duran has taken his seat away to my left-hand side. Been great seeing him around the last couple of days. Miguel Cotto's here as well, famous Puerto Rican fighter. Into the 5th. Little feint with the front foot there from Iglesias, and Madoyan bought it, but it didn't really open him up necessarily. Iglesias just continues to go about his work. He's not been suckered in by any of this. Again, just rattles off the combination there. Madoyan, for his part, when he does come forward, is launching himself into the attacks, looking for the big shots. They're real effort punches. Whereas Iglesias is just in that rhythm. Right hand into the body there from Madoyan. Half apologised for it. I think he maybe felt it was slightly low. I don't think it was. Again, just steps in and looks to go to the body there. Madoyan. Nice left hand there from Iglesias into the final minute. I think the heads might have come together there because there's a cut on the corner of the left eye of Madoyan. There's a reasonable amount of blood coming from that too. I think that was caused by a clash of heads. The referee has called time out here, and this doesn't look great, I have to say, because there's plenty of blood coming from it. I think he's coming over to my side of the ring. That's a bad cut. It's along the eyebrow, above that left eye. Probably taking up about half the length of the eyebrow, starting a third in, so the middle third of that eyebrow has been lacerated. You've got a decent look at it there, and there's quite a lot of blood. There's not long remaining in the round, which is good news for Madoyan, and only one round to go after this. Iglesias is winning the fight. We'll see what the referee says at the end of the round, whether she gives a gesture as to whether it was caused by a punch or a clash of heads. But the blood is flowing freely from it, and the referee is going to take him over to the corner again. I wouldn't be surprised if the doctor decides that enough is enough here. There's just a few seconds remaining in the round, so he might give the corner some time to work on it between rounds. And he's happy for him to continue. And the referee just telling the parents to keep their heads up there. Haven't seen any signal from the referee at the time or in between rounds. My guess would be that that was from a clash of heads. Well, you can see it there, and the blood's coming from it already. Three minutes remaining here. This is the sixth and final round between Roniel Iglesias in the black and Gurgen Madoyan in the white. And I think it's just a question really of whether he's able to get through to the end of the contest here, Madoyan, with that cut, because just one solid blow on it and that is going to start streaming. And the third time the doctor has to come and have a look at it, he may well decide that that's enough. Good left hand there from Iglesias. Just so good at finding his range. Madoyan has pushed the referee a little bit too far there. And the crowd didn't like that either. A little bit of exuberance, a thing they're okay with, but any sense that an opponent might be in any way mocking a Cuban fighter, particularly a double Olympic gold medalist, then I don't think they're going to like that too much. And I think the crowd here will be quite keen for Iglesias to stick some manners on Madoyan in the last couple of minutes here. I remember seeing Iglesias actually at the 2021 World Championships suffer a head clash after a matter of seconds in his opening fight. The judges had to score that first round, 20 seconds or so though it was. The opponent, I think, had landed probably one punch in that time and therefore won the fight. And it was a terrible anticlimax because he won the Olympic gold medal a couple of months beforehand. Was looking to try and complete what would be a collector's item because the Olympics and the World Championships these days are never in the same year. But they were that year. Julio La Cruz did go on to do that double. And he's going to manage to make it to the final tape here, Madoyan. But he's going to need to get that stitched. That cut is going to need some work. Stitches inside and out, I would guess. Bell goes, and again another entertaining fight. Madoyan brought plenty of effort, boxed in bursts really. Launched those marauding attacks, I think mainly as a method of keeping Iglesias off him, and it worked pretty well because he got himself through to the finish line there, managed to navigate the 6 rounds. Iglesias was always in control. And it will be another win for the Cuba Domadores. And there's some team kit from the first time around. WSB will be back next year, we are told. And as I said earlier in the evening, boxing fans will love that because it was a brilliant competition. You speak to fighters about it. I spoke to a lot of GB fighters about it and they absolutely loved it. Just that bigger feel to the shows. 5 3-minute rounds, smaller gloves, no vests. It was just something different. The ring walks, everything about it. It was a big hit with participants and spectators alike.
En la división de los 67 kilogramos, por votación dividida, el ganador en la esquina negra de los tomadores de Cuba, Roniel Iglesias.
Roniel Iglesias gets a decision. My Spanish isn't perfect by any stretch, but I think the MC there described that as divida, so a split decision, which I do find a bit surprising because Madoyan launched attacks, he was ambitious, but it was Iglesias who controlled that fight from beginning to end, but the right fighter has got it in any case. And it's another win for the home team. So next up we've got Arlen Lopez up against Luis Tejeda. This is for the IBA Americas title. And the flags are just being prepared. The Dominican Republic flag